What's up, guys? I thought I would do another video today talking about Manchester United. A lot of people would have seen my match day review for the United versus Palace game on Sunday. Obviously, we lost the game 2-0. And I really went in hard on the players in that review. I was very angry with the players, for putting in such a shockingly bad performance. As I said in that review, it's sad to think that we played so well against the likes of Man City and Liverpool away from home, but we've played so badly at home this season against teams like Bournemouth, Newcastle, Wolves, Bournemouth, Newcastle, and obviously Crystal Palace on Sunday. When I was looking at some of these, I was thinking about some of the other teams in the league. I was thinking about the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, even the likes of Aston Villa. You've got to look at the reason that these teams are doing so well and are in such good positions. It's because they have a decent squad of players, which there's no denying that teams like Villa, Man City, Liverpool, they do have decent squad of players. Same with Arsenal. But the most important reason for the fact that these clubs are doing well, or these teams are actually doing well, is because they have decent, competent owners. They have owners who care and actually give a shit. And they have owners who are willing to make the right decisions. So, the same can't be said for Manchester United. Our owners don't give a shit. They don't care. They don't care at all. They're not willing to make the right decisions. It's so clear that our owners don't care about the club. They don't care about the fans. That much can be, that is so damn obvious. But the thing is with the owner, with people like Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Villa, teams like that, they have owners who actually care about the club and care about the fans. And are willing to make the right decisions in order for the club to do well. But our owners are not. Our owners don't care about the club. Our owners don't care about the fans. There's no denying that our team is a fucking mess right now. It's a fucking shambles. Obviously I don't feel bad at all for the way I let rip at our players on Sunday. And it's so I do find it hard. Having to lay into the players like that. But when we're playing so badly and we're putting in such shockingly bad performances, it's hard not to be angry with them and question why they're putting in such bad performances like that when we've seen them playing so well away against the likes of teams like Liverpool and Man City. I mean, obviously Man City weren't doing so well when we faced them at the Etihad in the league. They were struggling, but the thing is with Liverpool, they were a team challenging for the league title, and we actually managed to go away to Liverpool and actually managed to get a point out of that game, which was incredibly unbelievable considering the fact that Liverpool had beaten us 3-0 at home earlier on in the season, and we take a lot from that. It's just frustrating, and the thing that really I think is frustrating me more is the fact that Ruben Amorim, that people are always blaming Ruben Amorim for the problems at United. He's not to blame. Ruben Amorim isn't to blame for the fact that this club is in the mess that it's in. People should be blaming the owners and not blaming him. I was saying don't blame the players. I mean, the players, they're putting in bad performances, but it's not their fault that the club is being run by morons. Which is what we can say for our owners, is that they're morons who actually don't know the first thing about running a club. They're running this team into the ground. They're destroying everything that made Manchester United so good. Manchester United, it's a horror show right now. These performances that they're putting in week out are an absolute horror show. It's so painful to watch these performances because they're so bloody bad. You know, I'm shocked by how bad we did in the January transfer window. We'd at least bring in one or two players. I mean, obviously we brought in Dorgu. That was the only real signing that we made. You know, substantial signing that we made in January. You know, hopefully we will be able to do something decent in the January transfer window, in the summer transfer window. But the problem is, you know, this is another thing about a lot of the other teams. So the reason that a lot of the other teams are doing well is because they've got a decent amount of money. They've been given a decent amount of money to go out there and sign decent players in these transfer windows. You know, our owners are not really giving the manager that, you know, a decent enough amount of money, you know, to be able to actually go out there and make some decent signings actually happen. You know, and that's what's ballsed us up in the last few transfer windows, is the fact that financially we couldn't afford to sign anyone decent. You know, it was like we could have signed Harry Kane, but we couldn't afford him financially. You know, but that if we'd have tried to sign Harry Kane, that probably would have financially bankrupted us. You know, it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. You know, it's sad seeing this Manchester United team in such a sorry state of affairs. But as I said, this is not down to Ruben Amorim. This is not his fault. He's only come in halfway through the season. You know, this was so bad. This team was still shockingly bad from the start of the season. You know, Erik ten Hag was sacked. They brought Ruben Amorim in. I still feel like they should have waited until the summer to actually bring a new manager in, because I feel like, you know, we're one of those teams where when you sack a manager halfway through the season and you bring a new manager in, it doesn't work. Which is why I think we should be waiting until the end of the season to actually bring a new manager in, rather than bring a new manager in halfway through the season. Because how is a manager supposed to do any good halfway through the season? I mean, there's not much they can do, you know, at that point. You know, bring them in the summer transfer, in the summer, and give them a proper full season to actually do something, instead of bringing these managers in halfway through the season and then expecting them to do anything. You know, it's so bad. You know, and that's just one of the many bad decisions that these owners are making. You know, this is the thing, our owners are making so many fucking bad decisions. It's unbelievable. You know, all our owners are really showing is that they don't care about the club. They don't care about the fans. You know, they don't give a shit about the club. They don't give a shit about the fans. All they care about is the money. The club doesn't matter. The fans don't matter. You know, at least Man City and Liverpool and Villa, and, you know, teams like Aston Villa actually have owners who give a shit, which is more than can be said for us. You know, that's what we need. We need owners who fucking care. We need owners who fucking give a shit. That is when we will start to do well, is when we actually have owners who fucking give a shit and who actually care. You know, our owners are not willing to invest in a club. They're not willing to put the work to do something with this club. You know, we need a manager that is actually willing. We need an owner. We need owners that are actually willing to invest in a club and actually allow the manager to spend money. Because this is the thing. Our owners are not allowing the manager to spend the money that he needs to bring in decent players. And that is what they need to allow him to do. They need to allow him to spend the money to bring in decent players that can actually have a positive impact in the team. Not that any decent players will want to sign for us right now anyway, considering how far we are down the table. You know, I mean, obviously we're still in the FA Cup, but I honestly doubt we'll get anywhere with that this season. I don't think we'll be winning, you know, I don't think we'll be lucky enough to make 3 straight FA Cup finals. I would be very, very shocked if we do. You know, we're still in the Europa League, but again, I feel like we're going to be knocked out of that before we even reach the final. It's hard to see us, you know, it's hard to actually see us making the final, because, you know, it's like, how can we? It's funny how we're so far down the league, down the table in the Premier League, but we've been unbeaten in the Europa League so far. You know, I feel like that's been the only positive thing, is the fact that we are still unbeaten in the Europa League so far. You know, that's like the only positive thing we can actually take from the season, because, you know, this season, it's just one of those seasons where there's not really that many positives that you can really take from it. Like, yeah, there's still a few months to go, but there's just not really, I mean, the only real positive we'd be able to take from it is if we do actually come away from this season with a trophy. Whether that's an FA Cup or a Europa League, I don't know. To be honest, I'm not really that bothered about winning the FA Cup this season, as we won it last season. So give somebody else a chance to win it this season. But winning the Europa League, you know, maybe would be a good way to end the season. You know, this season has probably been one of the most forgettable seasons we've ever had. You know, this is not a season where any United fan will be looking back on it and thinking, well, that was a decent season, well, that was an okay season. You know, all of us as United fans will be looking back at this season and thinking, what the fuck happened? You know, how were we this fucking bad? You know, this is the worst, by far the worst Manchester United team I have ever seen. You know, the worst team we've had since Alex Ferguson left. Things have never ever been this bad. As you know, they've never ever been as bad as they are now. You know, and as I said, I don't want people to keep blaming Ruben Amorim, because it's not his fault. It is the owners who are to blame for the shit state, for the shit mess that we're in right now. You know, it's not the manager's fault. It's, you know, it's sad seeing these players feel like they don't care either. That's the thing. You know, when you watch these players playing out there every week, it feels like they don't care. It feels like they don't want to play for the team anymore. It feels like their hearts are not in it anymore. It feels like there's no passion, there's no desire to go out there and actually win games. It feels like they don't care about the fact that they're 12th, 13th in the Premier League. We all know that United should be higher up than that. The fact that you're looking at Manchester United, the Manchester United are actually looking to be finishing lower than what we did last season, shows how bad things are. I mean, I didn't think, you know, after we finished 8th last season, I didn't think things could get any worse than that. But this season, oh boy, they've gotten a whole lot worse. Things have gotten a whole lot worse this season. And things are not going to get better for Manchester United anytime soon. I think we as United fans, as I said, and I sort of said this on Sunday, we need to accept that this is the new norm. And I feel like this is the new normal now for United. You know, I feel like this is the way that things are going to be now for United. And we've got to get used to that. You know, it's going to be a good fucking 10 years at this rate before we even get anywhere near, we're going to be anywhere near good enough to be challenging for a Premier League title, because we're not at that level. We're not at that level where we can where we can actually challenge for a Premier League title. We're nowhere near good enough to do that. You know, I want to see United get back to the point where they can challenge for the Premier League, challenge for the Champions League. There's going to be fucking years and years before we get back to that level, if we ever get back to that level. You know, it's sad seeing a team that has been destroyed so fucking badly by the owners. And that is what our owners have done. They have destroyed our club so fucking badly, it's unbelievable. It's hard to sympathise with these owners, but and have respect for our owners when they don't care about the club and they don't care about the fans. They don't give a shit about the club. They don't give a shit about the fans at all. And they've made that so bloody obvious. You know, it's ridiculous. You know, this team right now is a fucking disgrace. You know, it's absolutely disgusting. You know, losing to teams like fucking Crystal Palace and Bournemouth and Newcastle is so shameful and pathetic, it's unbelievable. That's the only thing I can say about it, is that losing to teams like that at home, it's just shameful and pathetic. Especially when we've gone away, when you think about the fact that we've gone away to Liverpool and taken 2 points off them, gone away to Man City and taken 3 points off them, gone away to Arsenal in the FA Cup and knocked them out. Yet we're playing so fucking shit at home and we're being beaten by the likes of Crystal Palace, Newcastle and fucking Bournemouth at home. And obviously, and also Nottingham Forest as well. That shows just how bad things have really gotten. The fact that teams like that are coming to Old Trafford and actually winning games at Old Trafford. Which years ago they would never have done that. Years ago Palace would never have come to United and won. Newcastle would never have come to United and won, to Old Trafford and won. Bournemouth would never have come to Old Trafford and come away with a win. Even Nottingham Forest would never have done that. But we're so bad right now that anyone can beat us. Because we are so fucking bad. It's not that hard for people to come away to Old Trafford and walk away with a result. It's fucking dreadful. We were lucky to beat Southampton at home as well. Obviously, we could have lost that game had it not been for Amad Diallo scoring the hat-trick. Things just aren't get any worse than what they are now. It's hard to see things getting any better than the position than what they are now. It feels like things ain't gonna get any better than that. It's an absolute joke. This team is a fucking disgrace. There's nothing else I can say. There really, really isn't. This team is just so fucking bad. It is unbelievable to see a team so fucking bad like this. I don't know what to say. I really don't. So I hope you've enjoyed this video anyway. I will see you for another one soon. Bye bye.